So let's rewind to January or February of earlier this year, 2025. I found myself in a monthly Discord call that is organized by Divine Shadow, in which content creators get to meet with the community managers for Epic 7. Part of being an official content creator, you are afforded one meeting per month with the Epic 7 staff to express any concerns that you and your viewers may have with the game. These concerns are then forwarded to HQ, who hopefully take it under advisement and try to make changes for the game. This is how things used to be until a couple of weeks ago, because now there are currently no English-speaking US-based community managers for our game. So here I am, again, sitting here in a call with, of course, Divine, but Valky and Tristan Wolf are there as well. And it gets to the point in the call where we are taking turns talking about our individual concerns as well as voicing the concerns of our communities. Tristan speaks up about how people are just frothing at the mouth for another collab, and at this point, we're 9 months out from Overlord, and it's been radio silent on that front. I'm expecting at this point for them to give us the usual canned response that there is no collab or there's nothing at this time. But to my surprise, they let us know that there's a possibility of 2 collabs. One of them is something that the community managers at the time really loved, but weren't really sure that it would be super well received. The other one was going to be a beloved IP that they knew people were going to go crazy over. At this point, Valky chimes in with, well, Summoner's War just got Demon Slayer as a collab, and people love Demon Slayer. Would this collab be in any way more popular than Demon Slayer? The response that we got? Yes, it would be way better than Demon Slayer. And the community managers even went on to say that knowing me as a fan of what I'm a fan of, that I would be really happy with it. Fast forward to 9 months, and as you can see behind me, we have our first collab of 2025 for Epic 7, that of course being Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Do people love Frieren? Yes, absolutely. People will go crazy for this collab. But would I personally love it? That's a complicated question. Let me explain. In case you've been living under a rock, Frieren Beyond Journey's End is the breakout anime that released in the winter of 2023. It follows the story of Frieren, a powerful elf mage who has just returned home with her party after a 10-year adventure to defeat the Demon King. Instead of spending a lifetime celebrating with her comrades, she decides to spend the next 50 years traveling the world in search of new spells and new adventures. However, upon her return, she notices that 2 of her comrades are nearing the end of their lives due to old age. As an elf who has lived for over 1,000 years, it never dawned on Frieren how fleeting human life truly can be. With the death of her comrades, she comes to realize how impactful they were on her life. With one final promise to a friend, she takes up an apprentice in hopes to discover more about herself and the lives of humans. More about what life is like beyond the end of her original journey. To say that Frieren is popular is an understatement. I've watched nearly 1,000 series in my lifetime, and I've seen flavor of the month shows come and go time and time again, year in, year out. Every time a new great show comes out, it usually spends about a week or 2 at the top of the My Anime List top anime of all time, before falling back down the rankings, only to be replaced by Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Steins Gate, or any number of other classic shows that can lay claim to the best anime series of all time. Frieren is that rare show that can actually take the #1 spot and actually hold it. It's been nearly a year since it dethroned Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as the #1 show, which is no small feat. It's safe to say that yes, people really love this show. Like, a lot. My personal belief is that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the best anime of all time, and in the past, Epic 7 has collabed with that series as well. I've made it well known when we covered that collab just how incredible I think FMA is, and how it's nearly untouchable, even if it isn't my favorite series. The show just does everything right. It has no flaws. And while I think Edward Elric and Roy Mustang are 2 of the best anime characters ever, they don't really quite fit the vibe of Epic 7. There is a flaw in them being the collab characters. You see, Full Metal's characters feel like they're more early 20th century than they do high fantasy. Frieren's cast, however, feels incredibly natural for our little game. Almost too natural. I would argue that Frieren, even if it's not my favorite show, is the best possible anime that could have collabed with Epic 7. This world and its characters are solidly high fantasy. Many of the same story beats and concepts that Epic 7 tries to hammer home in the last 7 years with its story are present here in Frieren Beyond Journey's End. The main protagonist of Epic 7, Raz, is a godlike being who has lived for countless years and is on a quest to defeat the Archdemon. Throughout his journey, Raz has seen many comrades come and go, and his character growth derives from trying to understand the human experience and the lives of his lost comrades. This is very much the core of what makes Frieren's story so good. Frieren is an all-powerful mage, and the lives of her comrades make up but a fraction of her own life. Both protagonists are accompanied by a powerful mage who learns and grows alongside our protagonist. And then, of course, you also have a fan favorite comic relief character. It is nearly a perfect mirror in terms of flavor, one-to-one with this IP. If there is something I worry about with this collab, it's going to be the writing for its story. You see, Epic 7 doesn't exactly have a strong record in recent years when it comes to its writing quality. The original episodes, they have good writing. The newer ones, not so much. And then you have the major criticism that most people have with collab side stories. It usually involves some character coming to our world, doing some random tasks to help out some townsfolk, and then they hold a festival. The end. That's it. Frieren is a series that most people know for the quality of its writing. But also, it's known for a lot of the time characters just showing up to a town, helping out the townsfolk with a problem, and then they hold a festival.
Humans love to make a fuss. They'll use any excuse to hold a festival.
So, if you're Smilegate, I have no idea how you're supposed to stick the landing in such a way that the writing feels like it's going to appease the fans of Frieren and also appease your enfranchised players. They just want something different from the plotline that we've seen from so many other collabs, even if it is a natural fit for the source material of this one. To be honest, almost anything, though, in my opinion, would be better than Overlord, so I don't really care what it is at the end of the day. I just hope it is good. And if you're watching this video as a Frieren fan who knows nothing about Epic 7, just please temper your expectations just a little bit, okay? Finally, let's talk about the characters that we're going to be getting in this collab. We are, of course, going to be getting the titular character, Frieren, who will no doubt be one of the 2 gacha-only characters for this collab. That's usually what they do with the anime protagonist. Frieren is a powerful mage, and I just can't see her not appearing as a mage class here in Epic 7. Given that she is an elf, I'm also going to assume that she's most likely going to be of the earth element, but it also wouldn't really surprise me if she was a fire character either. We'll also be getting my favorite character, who is Fern, Frieren's apprentice. Assuming the IP holders put their foot down, I'm going to assume that Fern is also going to be a mage just like her teacher. I also think she'll probably most likely be a ice element character, but honestly, any color I think really suits the character. If for whatever reason we have to vary up the classes, Soul Weaver might be a pretty good other alternative to Mage because we do see Fern using things like defensive magic very early on in the series. As for whether or not I think she's going to be a free character or a gacha character, well, if you've been playing this genre for any amount of time, you already know that waifus usually translate to better sales. So I think that Fern will be another gacha only character just like with Frieren. The only other thing that I'm expecting out of Fern is for her to have higher base speed than Frieren, as the narrative makes it a point to show that Fern's speed is her greatest strength that sets her apart from her teacher. And lastly, we come to Stark. And yes, despite the spelling, that is how you pronounce it. Stark is the apprentice of Frieren's comrade Aizen the Warrior. As such, Stark is most likely going to be a warrior himself, and in the series he serves as its comic relief. While I think Stark is a really awesome character, his popularity is massively outshined by our other two mage waifus, which is why I'm expecting him to be the free unit given to all players during this collab. Usually the free collab unit isn't very good in PvP, but very strong in PvE and is designed to help new players getting into the game with the collab find their footing. Considering we are also getting a massive overhaul to hunts just a week or two prior to the collab dropping, my assumption is that Stark will play a pivotal role in clearing this new content to help fast track players into catching up to many of the game's already endgame players lightning quick. And those are my thoughts on Frieren as a collab. But now I want to hear from all of you. How do you feel about Frieren as a show? And also, what do you think about it as a collab for Epic 7? Let me know any and all thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you get subscribed because I will be doing a first thoughts and initial impressions for all three characters from Frieren when those become available. So make sure you are subscribed. You're not going to want to miss that. And if you are new to Epic 7 or thinking about starting, I do have an updated new player guide. It is the definitive guide for 2025. It should be on the screen right now next to me, so make sure you check that out. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and I'll see you all beyond Journey's End on September 25th. Later now.